Hello everybody, welcome back. Welcome back to Commonwealth Flipper. I'm headed to the other cabin, the Commonwealth cabin right now. I just got back from 4 days off and we're back at it again. And I looked back at the comments from a video about a week or so ago. I guess it's maybe a little bit more than that at this point. And I'm thinking, you know, I do free returns. And there was a lot of people in there that are like, I just don't do it anymore and it doesn't seem to affect my business and I'm not getting returns. And I'm like, maybe I'm going to let these folks convince me not to do free returns. But we're going to debate that today a little bit, and we've got a lot of cool sales. Let's go take a look. I think I'm going to leave the door open today. Maybe the dogs will come by. I'm filming early today because I have to film 2 videos because during those 4 days that I was gone, there was a bunch of sales. Not as many as there would have been. But as we're debating that, y'all, why don't you put down in the comments below what you do? Do you offer free returns? Tell me yes or no, and then maybe one reason why you do that down there. And we'll look at everybody's comments, and maybe y'all can debate it amongst yourselves as I debate it myself as well. So 101 Dalmatians bag, probably picked this up for $1 somewhere. I don't even really remember, to be honest, where I got this one from, but it's kind of cool. It's got like a little fur on there, and it sold for $14.95. plus shipping. You know, I've been doing eBay a long time and I have really always done free returns, always. I just thought on whole it was the best thing to do for the store. But there have been items, and I still have items that I don't do returns on, as is 4 parts not working, you know, I'll put no returns on it. This thing was cool. Picked this up at the 301, the Endless Yard Sale, along with that mushroom one, and I knew they'd probably be kind of some slow sellers. But at $5 a piece, I couldn't resist. And the butterfly alone sold for $25 plus shipping. It's like this foam material. I don't even know how to describe it. But it's hard, but it's fairly light. But I just thought they were really cool. Butterfly's cool, but not as cool as that one right there. After I pick the next item, I'm going to read one particular comment that got me thinking, you know, because I have a buddy, Tim, over the years, he doesn't offer returns ever. And yes, you have to, and that's been part of my process, right? That INET, item not as described, you're going to have to be forced to give that return regardless. But the folks that do it, I'm always curious what they think. Does it affect sales? Because for me, it doesn't really matter that much, but I know there's a certain segment of the population out there that it's easier for them to buy if they see you can return this item. Now, at the same time, those are the kind of people who often might return items even more so. So that's a detracting point to offering free shipping. But we're gonna explore all of that today. I am in the eBay cave and we're overflowing over here. We've got tons of stuff. Yeah, some of this stuff's not even listed, but I'm gonna grab this one and show it to you out there. For clarity's sake, let me say this. We don't bring stuff inside until it's at least in drafts. So it's not listed, but they are in drafts. Probably, boy, we have more in a draft bank right now because I took 4 days off. We went to Tennessee. My boy had a tournament, and we didn't list that much. We did all kinds of stuff. Now, I remember buying this, but I do not remember how much I paid for it. I just can't remember. Ceramic Christmas tree right here. And when I saw it, it wasn't just an ordinary one. It had doves instead of lights, and it was perfect, in great shape. Everything, the light was working, lights in there, all of that. And there was none out there with doves, or maybe there was a few in solds. Like, somebody's going to buy this. Regina bought it. Regina, I feel like you left a message on this one, but I see no message on this one. So, Regina, if you are a viewer, thank you. There were a lot of viewer sales. That usually happens when the store gets shut down. More than our typical 10 to 20%. It's more like 33% today. I'm probably just going to show you a picture of this one because I don't really want to unbox it. And obviously it's not all put together. We're going to package this one up carefully, all in separate parts. Might even put some of the separate things in boxes so they don't move around in there. Make sure it doesn't move at all. And then we'll put this box into another box and give it a few inches on each side. Make sure this thing gets there. That's kind of thinking about returns right here. You know, if you spend $189.05 plus shipping on something, you want that thing to arrive. And if it's broken, you're going to have to return it anyway. So that's part of it, right? Somebody who's going to spend that much money on something that they really want, they want to have that protection and they want to make sure. Now, if they're an experienced eBay buyer, they know that they could return it if it's item not as described or broken or whatever. But to give that extra assurance, I think bumps you up a little bit in the possibility of your items selling. I think in all honesty, there's a little bit of give and take in this, a little bit of opportunity cost in both directions and actual cost. Advanced Dungeons and Dragons, Secret of the Silver Bells. This one sold for $24.99 plus shipping. Here's a comment from somebody who's obviously experienced, well thought out, and it gives a different perspective here. Consignment Wares says, number one, one return and 2 other attempted return scams in 24 years. So I guess that's 1 legitimate return and 2 attempted what they think is scams. Maybe it is, I don't know, maybe it's not. 1 case of labels getting mixed up, had each party ship the item to the other party rather than ship the item to me. I've done that multiple times. Hate to admit it. Gave them money to cover the shipping and refunded a hefty part for their purchase price for their trouble. So this, again, like I said, experienced seller, knows how to treat a customer. I don't accept returns unless there is a gross misrepresentation in the listing. Well, and I understand that if you don't offer free returns, but there is the INAD, so I'm a little surprised, but you know, I can get it. A lot of people who do this, like I mentioned Tim over the years over on Reseller Information Network, he does this and he is meticulous. He doesn't want there ever to be an INAD because he's covered all those bases. And there certainly is a cost in time to do that. And if you're going to go this route, I think that's the kind of seller you need to be. You have got to go out of your way to make sure there's no real reason for a return. And this kind of goes to that right here. Clothing is specifically mentioned as being not returnable as sizes differ from the manufacturers. Vintage clothing sizes are smaller than modern. People were smaller and used clothing may have been altered and has gone through various wash cycles, may alter the size. And a lot of people who do this, they measure everything. They make sure, hey, it's right there in the listing. You can't tell me it's not as described. It's described perfectly, completely, and fully. And I've mentioned before, electronics are a category with high returns as well, which is why we go into great detail and make sure we test them fully. And that includes testing the radio, of course, making sure the antenna is good, testing the cassette player, forwards, backwards, all that stuff. CFS 200, this one, because my guess is because we could say totally working, tested, guaranteed. If it's not, you can get a return. It's sold for $39.95 plus shipping. This one went to Tyler. He says, viewer here, started reselling from following you for quite a while. And you've got 73 feedback, so you haven't been doing it too long. Appreciate the purchase. Love Shop Commons. Shopcommons.net. Thank you. Going to use this to play cassettes that we pick up. Keep up the great work. Tyler, I appreciate it, and it's going to be working. And if it isn't, you can return it. By the way, that makes me think of a little side note. I'm going to mention it right after I pull this next item and then kind of get back to the topic, although this is relevant to the topic. Sold a Vera Bradley bag. This is a big one. I don't even know if we'd put it in here. That's not my... What the heck? That used to be my Vera bin. Somebody's been down here. I'm going to talk to Bluebird's mama. Where's my Vera bin, for goodness sake? Oh, you know what? I moved it inside the other day. That one got a little too big for that compartment and that bin, so we put it in here. So hopefully I can find the right one. It's a big one, so it shouldn't be too hard to find. I think it's... No, that's not it. Maybe it's this one. That's not it either. All right, I finally found it. This is a big Vera bag. Bigger the better. Great condition. And believe it or not, y'all, you Vera haters out there, this one sold for $44.95 plus shipping. So like I mentioned, I've always done free returns, and we've talked about my return rate, which for a while was just a tick over 2%, which is higher than I want it to be. Currently, it is under 1%, like 0.9, whatever. So I'm pretty happy with that. And to me, if you can check all the boxes and make sure you're not getting a lot of returns before stuff is shipped out, that is the best practice for the opportunity cost that would go into not doing free returns and doing everything in your power to make sure you don't have an INAD. Now, that's debatable. And that's why I'm having this video here. I totally understand both arguments. I really do think it's a little bit of a give and take. And I do think it really, really should match the type of style of seller that you are. But you can leave your comments below. I just want to mention this. The fact that I'm on social media, I'm forever afraid of somebody doing an expose on me, like, oh, I ordered this from him and this is how it showed up. They could fabricate all that stuff, of course, anyways. But I want to make sure that I can say, hey, any item that I ship out, you can return it and I'll give you all your money back plus the shipping. It kind of negates that fact. It really puts a big hurdle into their logical argument about me being a bad seller, because I am on social media and I just don't want that stuff out there. So, hey, if there's ever an issue, send it back and I'll take care of it. Speaking of issues, I've got two items I can't find. I think there's been 2 items all year that I can't find, and I just spent 15 minutes looking for 2 of them. That just does not happen very often, and it's happened twice in the same day, which has got me a little perplexed, but we're going to keep the hunt on. Serenity, this is a new item. This should be like, this would be something I would put here or put back on that shelf, and neither one are there. So I don't know what I did. Maybe it was something they got confused and something I was going to sell on Dibdit, or something I was going to go live and didn't make that decision. I don't know. Or go live on eBay. Any rate, we're going to be looking for those 2 after I film this video, because I'm on the clock today. But, you know, there are issues and there are things that come up. And so, you know, I make mistakes and I do want to be able to fix those, and I want the buyer to know that I'll fix those. So, I don't know. Like I said, give and take a little bit. You got to figure out where your time is best spent, and you're going to get some returns regardless. Although I do talk to Tim every once in a while from over the years, and he's like, yeah, I just don't do returns. Just don't do them. I'm like, okay. Hey, look at this. I'm on a roll. 1 out of 1. Found item. Ooh, this is going to bother me the rest of the day until I find it. J. Crew, look at this. $89.50 tag. It's a perfect J. Crew flannel shirt to sell this time of year. And I find J. Crew all around here because they got a giant warehouse, or they used to anyways. $24.95 plus shipping. So I am very curious to see how many people just don't do returns, and if you don't do returns, how often do you still get them? You know, it is Q4, so there's, you know, you might see an uptick in your sales, but in Q1 you might see an uptick in your returns. So far so good for us. We're keeping it right around 1%, which is nice. I'm looking for a money damn it doll. It'll probably be at the, there it is right there. So that one sold. Let me put these back real quick. We do have some. Maybe we'll put them on our stocking stuffer show over on Dibdit.com, which might happen before this video. I'm not quite sure. I think we're doing Christmas first. Come over and join us. It'll be fun. That money doll went to a viewer, went to John, and he paid $14.95 plus shipping. And he says, I like your educational talks. Well, they're not meant to be educational, I suppose. They're meant to, I have this quote I used to tell my ball players, my students, that would get, because they're all working individually for their own goals, but we all have collective goals as well. As iron sharpens iron, so one man sharpens another. And that's what I love about this channel, is I'm constantly rethinking the way I do things because of the way you do things. And hopefully I can provide that too. And Brent is thinking that he needs one of these to get his eBay store moving. An Enaman plush. And we appreciate everybody who's grabbed one. There are darn near 8,000 of you who have bought one version of these from us over the years. And they're out there in so many eBay caves. It makes me just very thankful and proud. So Brent, we appreciate it. And we hope he gets things moving for you. That actually reminds me of a couple things. We do some things to thank y'all for all that you do for us. And one of them was give away 80stees.com t-shirts. And Heather Cox, you remember the video? I totally forgot to do this. There's been so much going on. Where my wife was in here wearing that She-Ra shirt. People put Princess of Power down there. We'll do some more giveaways here in the coming videos. And Heather Cox 5801, you are the winner of the She-Ra shirt that will fit you. So send me an email, commonwealthpicker@gmail.com, and I will put you in contact with 80stees.com, and they will get you a shirt in your size. And y'all can go there and use code Commonwealth, 30% or 35% off. I can't remember. I'm looking for a Kevin Nash. I think this is the Kevin Nash one. We have these on 30% off at this point. We're getting down, trying to sell some off. We have 9 left of the Kevin Nash bandana. And they're down to $9.07 free shipping. So we're making a little bit still. And speaking of returns, I have been selling a lot of clothing lately. And so far we're holding pretty tight with our return rate. even with clothing, and I hope we continue to do that. Carhartt, a buyer bought 2 of these. Is this a viewer? They left a message, if you can combine shipping. Well, maybe you're not a viewer. Oh, yes, it is. Love your show. Thanks for the deal. Luke, I appreciate that. $35.90 for those 2, plus shipping, and we will return some shipping because you asked for sure. If I forget, remind me. And we're into these for about, less than $7. Let's say that. $35.90 for 2 nice Carhartt long sleeve XL shirts. All right, turn us in here with some Commonwealth comedy. Now that Halloween is over, what's the next holiday coming?
Thanksgiving.
You got it. And you got a joke that applies to either Halloween or Thanksgiving. What's your joke?
What's the best way to fix a pumpkin?
What's the best way to fix a pumpkin? I don't know what.
A pumpkin patch.
I love it. Thank you, bud.
Bye.
Hey, we sold an NWO bandana. Now we sold a Goldberg bumper sticker. And that one sold for $9.99. Free shipping. And I believe this one went to a viewer as well. Drew. And Reliving Childhood. I like that name. I love your YouTube channels and Trash to Cash podcast. You've been an inspiration to level up my reselling game. This sticker will be a great addition to my brother's birthday present. Well, that is awesome. Thank you very much. And I hope you enjoy it. Hey, one more thing. Haven't even mentioned, which is the increase that you will find in the algorithm, in the searches for your items if you do offer free shipping. And the discount, you know, the top rated sellers where you got to offer a discount, you got to ship it in that day or the next day, I guess it is, 1 day shipping. And so there is, like I said, an opportunity cost to not doing it. Does it equal out? I don't know. It just depends on what your model is. So tell me what you think down below. All right, look what I found. It was driving me nuts. I had to go out and look. My suspicion was right. It got put up in the dibdit.com attic up there. And so, I don't know, we just made some kind of mistake. So we found that. This one sold for $18.95 plus shipping, I think. And while I was up there, I grabbed the old vintage Kenner Ewok without the vest, and I figured this would be a great item for deal of the day over on dibdit.com. So I'll post that. And look who finally showed up today. I haven't seen you all day, Poncho. And like the way he sits right there. You comfortable? Sold the last of those razors that I paid $2 a piece for. This is a Norelco with the charger, and this one sold for $19.95. Before I forget, we're doing these 50-50 auctions for charity, and the charity will be listed over there underneath it. St. Jude, Compassion, who else are we doing? Red Cross, Ronald McDonald House, and I know I'm missing some. Humane Society, and Samaritan's Purse. So you have to see which one this is. This will be listed over on eBay. First edition CWP mug. And we just decided when we did these that we were going to keep like 20 of them or so. And slowly but surely over the years we use them on these 50-50 charity auctions. So that's all we have left of the first edition mug. So we are going to make it a little sweeter. We'll put in a number 3. We'll put in a Christmas ornament. And we'll throw in a black light as well. You can find all those on CommonwealthPicker.com. Actually, you can't find the Christmas one. That's over on Dibdit. And we put over there crazy cheap, $10, so people could use code Commonwealth and get a Christmas ornament, Inman Christmas ornament for $5 if they've never bought anything before. But there it is. That'll be listed over on eBay. Go check it out. Hey, speaking of all that, I wanted to thank, there were 8 folks who went over and bought that from Dibdit.com, that little Inman Christmas ornament, and a bunch of them used their little code Commonwealth, got $5 off. So appreciate that. If you are new, haven't bought anything over there, you can use that and get $5. You get one of those for $5 plus shipping. And I don't have the name, so my apologies. There are, well, I'll let Reagan say this next part, I suppose. We are doing stocking stuffer show and a Christmas show over there as well. And she's got a bunch of folks to thank. And I have a bunch more sales. But you know what? I think I'm just going to make a second video. Because if I didn't, as long as this one took, it would be like a 50-minute video. So we're going to do that. Am I missing it? Oh, Tim for Honest Tim for President shirt. Tim bought one. Not that Tim, a different Tim. And that was over on Dibdit.com as well. So I think we'll wrap it up in here. I'll get Reagan in here and then I'll sum it up and say goodbye. Reagan is not happy with me because the writing is really, really bad. And you have to ship all this stuff. You're going to have to ship it out tomorrow, I think. Because I've got all this to ship and then I got to film another video and ship that plus more. So forgive us if your ornaments are delayed. All right. What do you got? Ornaments.
Kevin, Rob, Donald, Cassandra, Mimi, Marianne, Ronnie, and Richard. And Ronnie also got a CWP mug. But all those people got ornaments.
They all got ornaments.
Yep.
And there's only 12 left at time of filming, which means there's less than that over on CommonwealthPicker.com. There are a few over on Dibdit.com, however. And if you never bought over there, you can go over there and check if it runs out on Commonwealth Picker. And you can get a $5 discount if you use code Commonwealth. But wait, let me say something. Richard, Otnip, Drop Flips. He's got a YouTube channel. Unbelievable help to me. What are you doing over there, buddy? I want to shout him out and say thank you. He helps us out with Garage Sale Nation Facebook group. All right, go ahead.
And then Brenda, Tina, Shelly, and Ellis all got black lights.
You got it. And we're down out of 3 bags. We're down to this one right here. So thank you all for all the support. We appreciate it. And $1 of every purchase. Actually, this year it's $2 because we're giving $1 to either Red Cross or to Samaritan's Purse plus the regular charities that you guys do. So 2 this year. And Reagan gets a big chunk of the profit as well. So, you happy, bud? You're not happy because he got the treats. Anyway, Reagan, thank you, and thanks for your hard work.
Bye, and don't forget to get your stickers at CommonwealthPicker.com.
Y'all, I almost forgot to put this in here. Once upon a time, Vintique, George and Chris, dad and daughter. I'm not going to show you close up because it's got information on it, but they sent a $250 check to my post office box. And at the bottom it says Reseller Rescue. And I have to go back and look at your message because I get a lot of messages, folks saying, hey, you know, I'm going to donate to this, or if you're doing this, and then they don't do it. Well, you did it, so now I got to go figure out what it was exactly I'm supposed to do with that money. I think it was along the lines of we were talking about Samaritan's Purse, but I'm going to make sure that we do the right thing for you guys with that money and how you want us to do it. It said Reseller Rescue, which is we want to support those folks who were devastated down there in North Carolina, and in Florida. So I'll talk to you guys about it. But for me, I would love to definitely help those folks if they've got back up on their feet and they're a reseller in those regions by buying things that I would buy. I would buy anyways for Christmas. I always support folks on Dibdit. If you're not aware of this, I made a promise that every dime I made on Dibdit.com, I would reinvest into the business, meaning support other sellers, and I do that often over there. So I'm excited about that. So thank you, and thank you for trusting me with that, and we'll make sure we fulfill your wishes on that. All right, y'all, I've got 2 puppies in here right now, and they haven't been here all day. So I'm glad they're both here. They missed us while we were gone. And hopefully you guys have some good sales here on Q4. You've started to see an uptick. Matter of fact, the next video is going to be, I'm going to film it here in just a minute, but you won't see it for a couple of days. I'm excited about it, but it's also a very interesting topic that I got a message from somebody. Has a little bit to do with Q4 and with them deciding if they're going to continue to be a reseller or not. I want to talk about that. But in the meantime, tell me, do you offer returns? Tell me if you're a hardliner about it and just say no returns whatsoever. And tell me the ins and outs of your situation and why you make those decisions. Thanks for joining us, and I can't wait to see you next time.